Ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling Enneagram compatibility.
Always exciting.
This time it's Type 1, the reformer, and
Type 6, the loyalist, really shows how different types can complement each other.
on the surface, total opposites attract, right?
Right.
But can they really find harmony? What's the real story?
Well, Personality NFT gives them a 56% compatibility score. So there's potential, but also some areas to watch out for.
Like having all the right ingredients, but needing a good chef.
Exactly.
So what are their shared values, the core ingredients they bring to the table?
I'd say it starts with dedication to duty, order, and truth.
Type 1 is all about doing what's right.
Yeah, upholding their ideals and making the world better.
And Type 6 wants that stability and security.
So they're drawn to structure and clear guidelines. It's not just romantic sparks. It's deeper than that.
Alignment on what they value most.
Exactly. Picture them planning a vacation.
Oh, I love a good vacation analogy.
Type 1 is researching the most ethical and sustainable travel options.
Making sure everything aligns with their values.
Meanwhile, Type 6 is creating detailed itineraries,
Factoring in everyone's needs.
ensuring a smooth and enjoyable experience.
Their different approaches actually work together.
They do?
But let's be real, no relationship is perfect.
True.
What are some bumps in the road for this pair?
Communication. That's often where Type 1 and Type 6 need to find their groove.
Because Type 1 fears being corrupt or defective,
Yes. So their criticism, even if well-intentioned.
comes from a desire to help their partner be their best.
Meanwhile, Type 6 fears being without support, so criticism makes them anxious about being inadequate.
So Type 1's directness, wanting things to be right, clashes with Type 6's sensitivity.
For example, Type 1 comes home to a messy living room
Ooh, I know that feeling.
and immediately points out everything that needs fixing.
Ouch.
A Type 6 might internalize that and worry they're not good enough.
Okay, so how can they avoid those communication pitfalls? How can they navigate conflict better?
Type 1 needs to learn to temper their criticism with understanding, empathy, deliver feedback in a supportive way. It's not judgmental.
Right. And Type 6 needs to work on expressing their concerns openly without spiraling into worry.
So finding a balance between honesty and sensitivity.
Exactly. They both have good intentions. Type 1 wants to help their partner grow, and Type 6 wants to feel safe and supported. Once they understand that,
It becomes easier to communicate and resolve conflict.
much easier.
Now I'm curious, what does their everyday life look like? Would their home be a perfectly organized sanctuary?
I see it as a blend of structure and warmth,
Okay, like what?
a meticulously organized bookshelf where each item has its place, but also a cozy corner, comfy blankets, throw pillows.
Perfect for heartfelt conversations.
Exactly. Not about one type dominating, but creating a space that reflects both.
Makes sense. And their daily routines.
Shoulds and obligations would be checked off the list. But there would also be space for spontaneity, emotional connection.
Like cooking dinner together.
Type 1 follows the recipe precisely,
Perfect meal.
while Type 6 sets a beautiful tablescape and chooses the music. Their strengths complement each other, even in everyday things.
It's fascinating, really. They bring different skills and perspectives.
And when they use those differences well.
They create a harmonious and enriching partnership.
Not about erasing individual quirks, but celebrating and leveraging them.
Think of it like a craftsman with a vision, the Type 1, partnering with a resourceful supplier, the Type 6. The potential is there, but they need to synchronize.
Appreciate each other's contributions.
Yes.
That's a brilliant analogy. Speaking of partnerships, what about friendships? What does a Type 1 and Type 6 friendship look like?
Built on loyalty and mutual respect.
Type 1 might be the organizer, the one keeping everyone on track.
Offering a helpful perspective.
And Type 6,
The listening ear, the unwavering support, the conflict mediator.
each bringing their own superpower.
Exactly. And it's not just personal. These dynamics are valuable in professional settings, too.
Now, that is interesting. How do Type 1 and Type 6 approach work and collaboration?
That's a great question.
Let's dive into that next.
Sounds good. When it comes to work, Type 1 and 6, they're all about meticulousness and diligence.
You could just picture them, can't you?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Type 1 with their color-coded files and perfectly aligned stationery.
I can see it now.
And Type 6 right next to them, triple-checking everything, anticipating every possible snag.
The dream team for efficiency and thoroughness.
Exactly. They get things done right.
So imagine them on a complex project.
Okay.
Type 1 sets clear goals and timelines, keeps everyone focused.
Make sure everything stays on track.
And Type 6,
Gathers resources, anticipates roadblocks, creates backup plans.
unstoppable.
You could say that.
But wouldn't those same qualities also lead to clashes? Type 1's need for perfection and Type 6's cautious nature.
That's where appreciating each other's strengths is key.
Type 1 needs to recognize that Type 6's analysis and attention to detail are super valuable.
Yes. And Type 6 needs to understand that Type 1's drive for excellence pushes them both further.
So it's about finding that sweet spot.
Where Type 1's vision inspires Type 6.
The step outside their comfort zone.
Right. And Type 6's practicality keeps Type 1 grounded.
Now that dynamic, it's not just work, right?
No, not at all. It's also a powerful force for personal growth.
Oh, interesting. How so?
Well, think about it. Type 1, they're all about self-improvement.
Always striving to be better.
They can challenge Type 6 to embrace new things, pursue their passion.
Now, Type 6.
With their ability to see different perspectives and anticipate pitfalls, they can help Type 1 loosen up on perfectionism.
Become more flexible.
Exactly.
So they're each other's cheerleaders and accountability partners.
In a way, yes, pushing each other to be their best selves.
That's awesome. It's not just about finding someone who shares your values.
It's about finding someone who complements you, helps you see the world differently.
Okay, we've talked work and personal growth.
Yeah.
But what about life's challenges? How do they handle stress and uncertainty?
Their approaches are quite different, but there's beauty in that.
In what way?
Well, Type 1, with their need for control, will likely seek comfort in planning, preparation.
I can see that.
To-do lists, researching scenarios, contingency plans.
Building a mental fortress.
Right. But even the strongest fortress needs a solid foundation of flexibility.
They need to learn to adapt.
When things don't go according to plan.
And what about Type 6? Hiding in a bunker, waiting for the storm to pass.
Not exactly. They might be anxious, sure, but they're also proactive.
Okay.
Reaching out to their network, seeking advice, reassurance.
From those they trust.
Yes, and they'll be assessing risks, potential dangers.
Like mapping out the terrain before venturing into the unknown.
It's a valuable skill, but they also need to remember they have their own inner compass, their intuition.
So it's about balancing, seeking support, and trusting their own judgment.
Yes. Both types cope with stress differently, and their differences can actually help each other.
Like having different tools in your toolbox.
Exactly. One for structure, one for uncertainty.
And knowing which one to use when.
That's the key.
This highlights the power of self-awareness in any relationship.
Absolutely. Understanding our own patterns and our partners
Helps us make better choices about how we respond to challenges.
It's like having a decoder ring,
To understand each other's motivations and fears.
which paves the way for empathy and compassion.
Now, speaking of understanding each other on a deeper level, what about their intellectual connection?
Ah, yes. They both love deep conversations.
Do their minds spark?
They do. They could spend hours discussing ethics, debating current events, analyzing complex systems.
Like late-night debates about ethical dilemmas.
Exactly. They love grappling with those.
I can picture them, curled up on a couch, books everywhere, lost in conversation.
It's a beautiful thing. That intellectual connection can be just as captivating as romantic chemistry.
They challenge each other, expand each other's perspectives.
Make each other think in new ways.
Sounds like a recipe for a fulfilling relationship and a stimulating intellectual partnership.
It really is.
But what about romantic spark? We've talked values, intellectual connection. But how does passion play out between Type 1 and Type 6?
It might not be that fiery, spontaneous passion you see in movies, but there's a deep, enduring love that can grow between them.
Like a slow burn.
Yes, a gradual building of trust and intimacy.
That leads to a profound connection.
It's like a vintage wine getting richer with time.
I like that.
And it's fueled by their shared values, respect, appreciation for each other's strengths.
They might not always agree.
But they're committed to working through their differences.
Building a life together based on honesty, integrity, loyalty.
It's a love story built to last.
A testament to commitment and understanding.
And a willingness to grow together.
But let's not forget about playfulness.
Oh, right.
How do they bring joy and laughter into their relationship?
It's easy to get caught up in the serious side of compatibility.
Yeah.
But playfulness is essential. For Type 1 and Type 6, it might be shared activities that tap into their sense of order and security.
Like what?
Maybe board games with clear rules, or organizing and completing projects together.
Type 1 gets their structure, and Type 6 feels accomplished and secure.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be all order and efficiency, though, right?
No. Playfulness can also come from trying new things together.
Okay, like what?
A cooking class, maybe, or a hike. Embracing a bit of spontaneity.
Stepping outside those comfort zones.
Finding joy in the shared experience. It could even spark a deeper connection.
Playfulness is powerful.
It helps us let go, connect with our inner child, create lasting memories.
It sounds like type 1 and type 6 have a recipe for a truly amazing relationship.
They do. They have their differences.
But they embrace those differences and leverage their strength.
Creating a harmonious and inspiring partnership.
And it reminds us that compatibility is not about finding someone exactly like you.
It's about finding someone who compliments you, challenges you, helps you grow.
So whether you're a type 1, a type 6, or just fascinated by relationships,
I hope this deep dive has given you a new appreciation for this unique pairing.
the Enneagram is a tool for self-discovery,
Use it wisely.
and it can lead to more fulfilling connections with the people in your life.
Exactly.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing.
And keep diving deep into the world of personality.
See you then.